Hello folks, and welcome to our channel. So this is one of the daily tarots that I do, but unlike the others, I know exactly what I'm going to be reading on today. And this started yesterday when I had and experienced a huge sensory overload. We're obviously at the moment, and a speech overload as well. We're obviously in Cornwall at this time, and we went somewhere yesterday. I'm not going to say where we went, because if it is somebody's favourite place, I don't want to piss on their parade. But we went to somewhere in Cornwall anyway, and it was packed full of people. And I experienced a real sensory overload there. And I found it quite upsetting because it's a place that's thought to be very spiritual. It's a pilgrimage place. I don't think it was the place per se. I think it was the people that were visiting the place. And I do have to say that. I think if you went there on your own or with a group of like-minded people, or if you walked along the beach when it wasn't open, you would experience a different experience. But we went when there was a lot of, when with the holiday makers, and it was rammed. And I got overloaded. And I've been thinking about sensory overload overnight now, and about the impact that this can have on our spiritual journey. So a sensory overload could be that just you've got a really busy to-do list. It could be that you're shifting a lot of stuff, you're having to face a lot of stuff. It could be having to clear a lot of stuff. It could be your past revisiting. It could be you're going through a trauma. It could be that you're in a shopping centre or you're in a spiritual place and it's rammed of people and the energies are just all over the place. And how can we deal with that? Okay, what guidance wants to come through in relation to dealing with sensory overload? Now, I know as well being on, not that I'm on the spectrum, I think we're all on the spectrum of everything, to be quite honest. But I think many people are on the spectrum of ADHD, autism, OCD. I think, to be quite honest, perimenopausal, menopausal, adolescents, elderly, disabled. I think, do you know what? Quit the labels, Claire. Let's clear it. Clear labels. I think all humans are struggling with sensory overload. Our phones, our life, everything. So sensory overload, can we have some guidance in what is causing this? And I've got an itchy nose as well. What is causing this sensory overload? Okay. Holding on, stuck. The old ways of doing. Now that's interesting because we got to this place. And basically there's part of it where you have to walk up to it. Those in Cornwall will know what I'm talking about now. I'm going, there's nothing wrong with that place. I'm not saying there is. It was the people that were visiting. Where was I? The energies today, by the way, are wild. 4 of Pentacles. So I was saying, I got to the bottom and I was like, it's too much. I'm going to quit. I'm going to read the room. I'm going to read the energies. I personally don't need to go up there. I'm going to step back and I'm going to read my book. And I think this is a big thing. When you are having a sensory overload, I don't mean here, not going shopping because, you know, you can't face shopping, so you never go shopping. What I mean is reading the room. Just because say you go to Egypt and you visit the pyramids and you get there and you think, I can't do this. I can't do it. The energies have changed. The energies aren't what I thought they were going to be. Don't forget, buildings change each day as well. Step back. Have a coping mechanism. Don't be afraid my parents always used to say this to me. No matter how far you get into something, even if it's on your wedding day and you get to a point where you think, I can't do it, don't do it. Doesn't matter how far in you are, step out, say no, slow down, step back. And again, it's that, no, we're on holiday, we're here now and we've got to go and I've paid for this. Bollocks. Okay, that's just bullshit. Be in charge of yourself. We've also got to not rely on those other people around us. I'm not just talking about people closest to us, I'm talking about other people. Because quite frankly, right out there right now, there's a lot of selfish, self-centered people that are only focusing on their own issue and their own stuff and their own process forward. So don't rely on other people to do this for you. Don't rely on other people to stop, slow down and let you ponder and take a breath. There was a situation yesterday where I was walking to this place and it was obvious I was struggling. I was struggling on the cobbles, walking on the cobbles, and a man literally barged into me. Boom. But what he didn't realise was that I'm a northern lass that grew up with two brothers and they didn't take no shit off anybody. And he must have thought I was going to be possibly like his wife or his girlfriend or his mother, weak and feeble. And I wasn't, so I boom again, because nobody rams into me. So I rammed back and I think I went, oh, fuck off. That's not very spiritual. It's real. But had I been in a really vulnerable state, that would have absolutely freaked me out. So what I'm saying is, don't rely that other people are going to hold space for you, because you may be in a shock. Okay? So it's about being able to hold space for yourself. I think, talking about that thing with the man, I think many women at the minute are feeling overwhelmed. I know a lot of things coming up in the sessions, a lot of things online about women feeling bullied, women feeling suppressed, women feeling more and more not heard. Let's take another card. So if that's the case, you have to be the one. You have to step into your womb energy, your warrior energy. You have to step into your power, okay? And it's okay to defend yourself as well. Hierophant, enlightenment, wisdom. Let's take another one, 10 of Cups. I think as well, I worked with a hygienist years ago, dental hygienist, and it was just after the shooting in Manchester. And we were talking about it, and he said, well, I always have a strategy. He says, by the way, this is a bit of a blunt thing. It wasn't me saying it, was him. And he said, let me give you some advice, because I was saying, God, you got gigs or concerts and, you don't know what's waiting for you at the other side. And he says, whenever he has ever gone to the theatre, a gig, concert or whatever, he says, I always sit there and let everybody else go. So we sit there, it's me and my wife, sit there, and they've all gone. And then we leave. And I says, how come? And he says, well, look at this. If there is anything waiting outside, it's not going to get you because you're not barging through. If there is going to be someone that trips and falls because they're in a crowd of people and the crowd goes like that, you're not going to be in that. If there are people barging their way through, you're not going to be in it. If you are an anxious person and you get in the middle, if you're leaving a gig and they're all boom, you're not going to be in the middle of it. He says, what's the rush? Why do you need to be the first one out of the gig? Why do you need to be the first one into the reception area or the foyer? Why do you need to be the first one into the taxi? He said, because you'll be the first one into the danger. And I was like, oh my God. And do you know something? Every time we've gone out anywhere like that, a theatre, we've done exactly that. We will just sit and let them. Not having a Mel Robbins moment here, but we will just sit and let them. So when you go to one of these events, like now if I could turn the clock back, what I would have done is I'd have said, okay, Gary, because once I'd stepped away from it and we'd gone to a place, a bar that overlooks it, and everybody had pissed off home, it was night and day, and I actually said, it's quite a nice energy around here. It's almost like even the building itself went and decompressed. It wasn't the building, it was the people. And I could make sense. I couldn't even, when it was happening with all these people and getting barged by men and everything, as you do, I couldn't even make sense of the energies. My energy was just getting siphoned. It was horrible. the wisdom I've gained from that is now, if I go to an event like that now, what I'm going to do is not go in. I don't care what it is I'm going to see. I don't care if it's the pyramids. I don't care if it's Stonehenge. I don't care if some influencer on whatever says it's the best, most magical place in the world. If I get there and I'm seeing that stomp, 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 stomp energy, we must get to the top as fast as possible, I will pull back. I always take my book with me. I'll pull back and because Kerry does like filming and going up into these places. He's very different to me. But even he struggles, to be quite honest. I will say no. I'll sit on the beach with my book. I'll go to a coffee shop with my book. If there's a gallery, I'll go to a gallery. I'll go and find the quiet place. Or I'll sit outside and I'll look at it. I'll look across to it, up to it. Do you know what I mean? Take it away from going to events into your life. How can you make life easier? When I say easier, I don't mean bypassing, but how can you be gentle with yourself right now? How can you hold space for yourself? What really needs doing on your to-do list right now? Well, our Barbara has just rung because she's had a blow up with Mavis. Oh my God, I have to ring her back because if I don't, she'll flip. No, you don't. No, you don't. But your mum needs her eggs on. Your mum needs her egg. It's not life or death. You're not that important. Reality check. If you die right now, your kids will have to go on. If you die right now, your parents have to go on. If you die right now, your partner has to go on. If you die right now, the crowd will still walk, okay? Your boss will replace you tomorrow. You're not that important where you can't say no. But also understanding that if you are on an ascension journey and a healing journey, we have come from a place of switching off and dumbing down. So where we didn't feel, we drank, we smoked, we vaped, took drugs, medications, doom scrolled, everything that people do to stop filming, to distract. Once you start to heal and step onto a healing journey, you will start to switch on. If you are a woman and you are going through an adolescence portal, a perimenopause portal, a menopause portal, a pregnancy portal, a birth portal, and into your crone portal, your hag portal, whatever portal you're going through, you are going to feel. Everything is coming back on grid. So when you go into these places and you're feeling is not a problem. The problem has been the society that we've lived in has wanted us to dumb down. So feelings are not a problem. When you go to these places or have these experiences, you're meant to feel. It's not you that's out of alignment. You're meant to feel. We're not meant to close our heart. You know, we're talking about heart opening. When you open your heart, you feel. I did a video ages ago, like years ago, when people talk about open your heart, open your heart. Heart opening meditation's great. But when you start to open your heart, you're going to feel. And humans can get so overwhelmed with feeling. Feelings are emotions. Emotions are water. And it can feel like you're drowning. So rather than switching off, we need to learn how to swim through our emotions. Not fast, but to glide. I'm feeling this, so I need to do this. It's okay to feel. I say to my clients all the time now, when you're feeling anxious, just stop what you're doing and go, I feel really anxious right now. I feel really pissed off, like I'm going to smack somebody right now. I feel really bitter at life right now. And just sitting and I feel really whatever it is. And then watch what happens, because it will transmute. when you try and force that anger down and you try, everything's okay, children, right? We're all going to school, but Mummy's feeling really anxious inside. She's feeling really anxious, her hormones. But come on, get your sandwiches, get this, get everyone. Let me just put a post on Instagram. Let everyone know my life is perfect. You're forcing that down. You're causing chaos. You're causing a tower moment. You're going to have a collapse. But when you just go, you know what, I just need to sit down. Mummy's feeling a little bit, and just feel it. Doesn't matter if the kids get to school late. Doesn't matter if you're stuck in traffic. Feel it. Honestly, I swear to you, it changes the game. If you think about feelings, like anxious feelings, it's your body's way of giving you an alert, right? Your body can't make a decision of whether it's a lion or whatever it is, or it's just the fact that you have to do something, show up at a meeting. So allow yourself to feel. Guidance for how we can go forward with sensory overload. Yeah, people said I can't go on anymore because I'm so anxious. I can't go on anymore because I can't live a life anymore because everything is just too much. It's reading the room as well of, do you know, the energies in that room are just quite off. I'm not going to step. They're not forcing yourself through it. Okay, King of Swords has stepped out like that. Okay, so guidance for going forward. Broken heart. Three of Pentacles at the bottom. Victory. Ace of Swords. The Moon, the internal world, and manifestation, Two of Wands. So guidance for going forward. Be comfortable in pain. Not from a victim and attention-seeking way, but don't try to suppress it. Do you know what I'm saying with that? Don't try to suppress it or bypass it. Because that's how you can go through it. Your pain is your truth. The Moon, the inner world, your inner world. There's a lot of injustice going on in when you start to come back as an intuitive, when you start to be able to feel and to sense, you can sense the injustice of it. There was an incident we went to the Eden Project. That's another story altogether as well. And like literally there's a lot of places to eat in there, but every place we went to was just rammed of people queuing in a line, like hundreds of people. And I just was like, at what point do people go, you know what, we're not going to eat here, let's leave and go get something else to eat somewhere else, or let's skip a meal. Why is it, no, I'm going to stand in this queue and I'm going to wait? And you start to feel the senselessness of it all, the mindlessness of it all. You can stand there and go, don't people get it? So there's that coming up as well. There is nothing wrong with your feelings. Pain is a great teacher. Imagine if you'd been at school and your teacher had said to you, you're going to suffer pain through your life, but pain comes in to be your great teacher. Pain, difficulty, trauma, it's your teacher. It's how you're coming into clear to learn to grow. So when you find yourself in pain, don't wallow in it. Don't become a victim of it. What is this trying to teach me? How have I ended up in this situation? Why have I ended up in this situation? Not, why me? Why not me? How could I have been better? And when your shadow is shown to you, which it will be, listen to it. Don't run from it. Don't think I'm not looking at that, because it's always going to be somebody else's fault, because you're just bypassing yourself. But imagine the games that could have been changed if just those few words could have been said to you. So sensory overload. It's normal and natural to feel. You will have to navigate it for yourself. Have a strategy and a coping mechanism. And if you've got a big meeting today, or whenever it is, or something in your life that's a big task to face, have things around it that you can help to cope with. So for example, like I went through, a stressful part of my life, doing lots of exams and oral exams, etc. And my mum used to say to me, focus on the coffee that you're going to go for afterwards. So get up, get dressed, show up, do the exam. Doesn't matter if you pass or fail. Focus on the coffee that we're going to go for afterwards, or focus on meeting up with your friend, or focus on the meal that you're going to go for afterwards. Get up and have a nice shower. Say to a friend, let's go for a movie afterwards, let's go for a coffee, let's go for a cup of cacao, not a glass of wine. If you want to go for it, I'm not going there. Do you know what I mean? Have a life where you've got moments of being able to cope, to decompress. Go out onto the beach, go into the woods, go into the fields, into meditation, have coping mechanisms so that you can come in and clear it, so it's not continuously overloading you. And that's my message for today. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.